across the nation, and it's a sin. The cause, the fake, the fraud, the messing with me. Come on, come on, come on, let's get it out.
Okay, it's the Viper 4567 here with my Raw and Smackdown thoughts. As I've said, I was going to start doing Raw and Smackdown reviews together because I will be watching Raw obviously Tuesday, the night after, and I won't be watching Smackdown until the Friday night or the Saturday morning. So obviously I'll be reviewing it either Saturday or Sunday. I know it's literally nearly a week after that the week of Raw, but I'd rather do Raw and Smackdown together as one video because no point in doing two. So, excuse me. So let's get on with it, shall we? I must say I thought Raw was actually pretty good this week. Actually, I must say haven't really watched Raw that much over the last 2 years. Been watching in between, kind of. I watched kind of Afterburn and what else is there? The WWE Experience, which is over here. Never kind of watches that instead of watching the whole Raw itself. It's not really, didn't really see anything really that I wanted to watch. Basically, I didn't like any of the show. Like when I watched the Experience, it wasn't great really watching Raw. But I said to myself, fuck, I might as well do it again. So let's get on with it, shall we? The Usos defeat Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt by disqualification. Kind of okay match. Wasn't too bad. Jimmy Uso comes in and cleans house after getting a hot tag from Jay. Both Usos do flying planches onto the outside on Bray and Bryan, which was actually kind of nice. I must say, actually, I do like the Usos. I think WWE should give them a bit of a run. They seem to be, like, the crowd seem to like them, to be fair. Like, then Harper and Rowan come in and attack the Usos, and that's what gets the disqualification. As I said, it was a decent to okay match. Like, it wasn't grand. It was okay for Raw, you could say. Usos hits back and they leave the ring, basically. And basically, Bray kind of blaming Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan goes on his knees and does that, and basically gives himself up to Wyatt, and he does Dee's sister Abigail. So the crowd red hot for Bryan. Like, I must say, I've never seen a wrestler like I've never seen an ovation for a wrestler since maybe Stone Cold or The Rock or Hulk Hogan. Like, fucking hell, I've never seen a crowd so hot for a wrestler in a very long time. Especially in this day and age now in wrestling, there's not many big over superstars really. Even John Cena don't even get hot. Even when he was popular years ago, before he got all the, kind of when the crowd was only really 70-30 now. But like, fuck me, I tell you one thing, Daniel Bryan definitely the most popular guy now in the industry. So at the moment, next time we see John Cena defeating Damien Sandow, and I'll tell you one thing, a really good match I must say for John. As I said, not considering John Cena was in it. I'm not saying he's a bad wrestler. Right? He's not the worst wrestler in the world, but basically, let's get on with it. Sandow misses a knee. Cena does his usual 5 moves. Cena then goes to the AA, that gets countered into an Edge-O-Matic. What Edge used to do, the Edge-O-Matic, which gets 2. Sandow reverses the STFU and gets in the Royal Arch. Cena reverses it, gets a neckbreaker for 2. DDT gets 2 then for Sandow. Tornado DDT gets 2 for John Cena. They trade near falls then. Cena gets the STF and gets the ropes. Sandow gets to the ropes. Sandow then with his own version of the STF. Cena gets out of it and gets the win with the AA in a very good match, I must say. Damien Sandow, I must say, I don't know about him really. I don't know too much about the guy. Like, obviously he's been in WWE now for a good while. Had a good partnership with Cody Rhodes. I knew that anyway. So I must say, he's a decent guy. A decent wrestler. Like, it was a good match now, considering John Cena don't really have that many great matches on Raw, to be fair. So yeah, so there we go. Then we get a new thing called WWE Network, which was going to be, obviously WWE going to have their own little basically social media, like Netflix basically. It's like $10 a month. You get to watch all the live pay-per-views. First one starting off with WrestleMania. You get to watch all the WWE shows that be on during the week, like Legends in the House, going to be a new show, and a few other little things. And you get to watch all previous pay-per-views from WWE, ECW and WCW, which is kind of cool. I think it's supposed to be coming here to the UK as well with Netflix, so which is going to be kind of cool. It'd be good to watch all the old pay-per-views kind of without buying the thing, basically. But still, $10 a month, I can tell you one, if we can get something like that over here, would be fantastic. I tell you, it's great value, and it looks absolutely awesome. And of course, And when did Kane start wearing a suit? I saw this. He's now the chief operating officer or chief executive officer. I don't know what it is. Like, fuck me, I tell you, Kane looks so different with a suit on. I'll tell you one thing, it doesn't suit him, to be quite honest. And he plans a rematch then for the Usos and Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt in a steel cage, and the door will be padlocked shut, and he will be the only one with the key, so well, hopefully that match will be better. Big Show defeats Jack Swagger in a squash match. Basically wins with a chokeslam, and after the match then Seb, that old fella, basically checking on Jack Swagger, he turns around basically, Big Show knocks him out, so yay. Next week then, Batista will return to Raw, and obviously Alberto Del Rio is not happy about that. They're trading wars on Twitter or something, which is, couldn't give a fuck. I actually don't like Twitter, to be quite honest. I think it's absolute load of bollocks. But it's good to see Batista coming back, so yeah. Next then we have The Shield defeating CM Punk and New Age Outlaws in an okay match. A very decent match. It went about 15 minutes. I really enjoyed it enough now. Reigns copies the New Age Outlaws by doing a crotch chop, which was nice. Billy Gunn then with a nice sidewalk slam gets 2 on Dean Ambrose. Shake, rattle and knee drop gets 2 for Road Dogg. And then Punk goes through the ropes onto Roman Reigns. Nice drop kick then from Reigns from the outside of the ring. Punk then is going to tag either Billy or Road Dogg. They get down. Go down to the outside and walk off, and leave Punk then to get speared then by Rollins, Reigns to get the win for the Shield, and then after the match then they do their triple powerbomb. So next then we get AJ Lee and Tamina Snuka defeating the Funkindites. Yeah, great. Who cares? Not even going to talk about that match. Typical Divas match, a load of shite really. The first inductee into the Hall of Fame is the Ultimate Warrior, which, to be quite honest, I couldn't care less about, really, to be honest. And then Paul Heyman calls Big Show stupid for picking a fight with Brock Lesnar, and basically goes on a bit of a tyrant. Then Kofi Kingston defeats Randy Orton in a decent okay match, really. Randy Orton dominates most of the match, which he loses, which I found, and then loses, which I find weird. The match itself was not bad, as I've said. Randy Orton was getting pissed off that he could not beat Kofi, so like showed the frustration. Win comes out of nowhere really. He goes for that DDT on the ropes, and the SOS gets the win. And basically Randy Orton's having his feet outside, and then he basically attacks John Cena's father again, and John comes down then to help his father. Goldust and Cody Rhodes defeat Ryback and David McGillicuddy, I'm going to call him. I forget he's actually named that he is now. In an match. They're talking about Ryback's rant on Twitter over the weekend, which, yeah, who cares. Match is over in 6 minutes. Crossroads gets the win. Next match then, Alberto Del Rio defeats Rey Mysterio in a good match, in an okay match. Ray looks like he hurt his arm really early in the match. Nice kick in the head from Ray. That gets 2. Turtle backbreaker gets 2 for Del Rio. Ray gets the 619, goes to top for a splash, but Del Rio kicks him in the head and then gets the cross arm breaker for the win. And then he has a little rant about Batista. Yeah. Then in the main event, then we had the Usos defeating Bray Wyatt and Daniel Bryan in a decent steel cage match. It was probably a little bit better than the one they had at the start of the match. The crowd were dead throughout the whole match though. Typical of a WWE crowd. Most of them are all stupid little kids. No, I'm getting really sick of this PG era really. Like, the fans do not give a flying fuck. I'm not going to go out and rant about fans, but nice dropkick from Jimmy on Bray. Bray then launches Jay into the cage. Corkscrew and moonsault from Jimmy on Bray gets 2. Back suplex from the top rope from Jimmy Uso on Brian actually, sorry. Nice super kick then on Bray Wyatt from one of the Usos. I think it was Jimmy. Both Usos escape the cage. After one of the Usos kicks Brian off the cage and basically hits Wyatt, he goes crotch first into the ropes. So that's how they got the win. After the match, then Bray has a big smile on his face and wants to give Daniel yet again the sister Abigail. So Bryan gets on his knees and he's about to do it. Daniel reverses it and the crowd go fucking mental. And Daniel basically kicks the holy crap out of Bray Wyatt. And basically, I've never seen this before. A whole crowd going, yes, yes. Oh, I'll tell you one thing. I would have loved, for that moment there is why I love wrestling. Like, the crowd sometimes can, I'll tell you one thing. I've never seen an ovation like it in all my life. It's absolutely beautiful. And then Brian gets onto the top of the cage and starts singing yes with the crowd. So as I said, overall Raw itself was pretty good. I must say, for a change, because considering I've been watching other people's reviews over the last 3 or 4 months, like saying Raw has been really poor. So thumbs up for me this week for Raw. So next, let's go to Smackdown. Yeah. Smackdown, I thought this, I tell you, it was really poor. I didn't really like it at all. Cody Rhodes, the New Age Outlaws defeat Cody Rhodes and Goldust in a match. Let's get on with it, shall we? Nice clothesline from Goldust on Road Dogg. Nice power slam from Goldust also on Road Dogg. Cody comes in, cleans house, double missile drop kicks from the rope by Cody Rhodes. That gets 2 on Billy Gunn. Gunn goes to the famous at least 3 times but misses all the time. Cody goes for a crossroads, that gets reversed. Gunn gets 2 off a slam. Disaster kick down from Cody, and then Vicky comes out and basically talks about the Royal Rumble, blah blah blah. That distracts Cody, and Billy Gunn rolls him up for the win. So, yay. Then we see Big Show and Swagger from Raw, which I couldn't give a fuck. I'll tell you one thing, SmackDown, they do a lot of talking about Raw, I must say. I know Raw's the premier show, but come on, for fuck's sake, like, they talk about at least Raw for about 30, like, and between the Hall of Fame and Raw, they must have it for about 20 minutes, like, it's ridiculous. That could easily put on a good, decent match. Like, I don't get WWE, I know SmackDown's a tape show, but come on, for fuck's sake, like SmackDown I used to love SmackDown years ago. Like, I think in 2009 it was kicking the crap out of Raw. Because obviously Jericho and Mysterio were having great matches. I think then there was other feuds as well that were doing well. The tag team division was doing well. Oh, unbelievable. Then we had Rey Mysterio defeating Alberto Del Rio in a decent match, a rematch obviously from that past week on Raw. Rey gets on the mic and says, yeah, you got the better of me in Raw, but you're worried about Batista, basically. And I love Miz and JBL. They basically have a go at each other. This is probably the best part of SmackDown, I must say. Basically trying to one-up each other, saying... And JBL said, yeah, you're only a one-hit wonder from WrestleMania. Basically, he's won WrestleMania main event. And basically, Miz was saying, like, basically, how many main events have you been in, basically? So let's get on with it. Del Rio kicks Rey in the gut while he was in the trio row. Rey goes to 619. Del Rio clotheslines him, that gets 2. Del Rio eats the ring post. Del Rio, I should say. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker gets 2. Tornado DDT gets 2 for Rey. Rey gets 619, goes on top for a splash, but Del Rio puts the knees up. Rey gets the win with a roll up, and then Del Rio attacks Rey after the match with a cross arm breaker. So it was much better than the Raw match, I must say. Then we get the Wyatts coming out. Bray does a promo talk about his father, saying he was left on his own, saying this girl Abigail saved his life, saying I don't bleed like normal people, and basically Daniel Bryan would burn with the Angels, and so on. And he leaves the ring. Then Naomi defeats Tamina Snuka in a match. Terrible Divas match. It just shows what Divas are like nowadays. Terrible botch. Tamina goes for a back body drop, and basically Naomi lands on her head. Cameron then fights AJ on the outside. Roll up gets 2 from Naomi, and then a springboard moonsault gets the win. Shit. Then WWE paid tribute to Mae Young, who died this week, aged 90. I tell you one thing, Mae Young, I know the stuff she's on kind of made me need to puke, but still, an absolute credit to her. I tell you one thing, for nearly 70 years in wrestling, I'll give her that. I tell you one thing, proper woman and a proper diva. Proper woman wrestler, basically. And she'll be missed, I think, to be honest. I think she did do some memorable stuff in WWE and any other companies that she was involved in, so may she rest in peace. Then with Paul Heyman coming to the ring talking about the Big Show, and basically Big Show comes to the ring to confront Paul Heyman. Show runs into the ring, Paul runs into the crowd. Show then says, I thought you were not scared of me, blah blah blah. Shaw says, I know you well, and basically to tell Brock Lesnar I'm going to knock him out. Big E Langston defeats Fandango in a match. Who cares? Match itself wasn't great. I think Langston wins, but Langston wins basically. JBL basically goes to Miz. You're basically WWE's version of Vanilla Ice. That's the best part of this match. That commentating basically was the best. So basically, the main event on SmackDown was the Usos defeating the Americans. It was actually an okay tag match. It wasn't great. The Americans work on Jimmy's ribs Jimmy Uso's ribs basically throughout the whole match. Cesaro gets 2 off a splash on Jimmy. Swagger stands on Jimmy Uso's ribs. Oh, it was disgusting. Swagger Bomb gets 2. Bailey's Belly then also gets 2 for Swagger. Jimmy Uso gets the top tag. Jay cleans house. Samoan Drop gets 2. Swagger gets the ankle lock and then a lovely super kick from Jimmy Uso. Jimmy then grabs Zeb and basically, who's in a wheelchair, and drives him into Cesaro. Splash from the top rope from Jimmy Uso gets the win for the Usos. So then we have CM Punk comes out to confront the Shield and New Age Outlaws. Punk says he will not shut up and he does not need an army to get things done. He talks to Triple H saying he's drunk, but basically he's saying he's drunk on power base and trying to get rid of Punk. Shield come out, the New Age Outlaws come out, and then they all surround Punk until Kane comes to the ring saying he's angry. Basically, the anger is getting the best of him, saying that the authority wants him to win the WWE World Heavyweight title. And basically, Punk then goes to him saying, "Do I have your word?" And Punk basically calls him a 7-foot suck up. And Kane comes in and basically chokeslams him to hell. So that ends the show. SmackDown does not get a thumbs up. I'll tell you one thing, it was really poor. 2 decent matches at best, and the rest were all fucking wank. So that's me first. Raw and SmackDown thoughts. Let me know what you thought of Raw and SmackDown as well. So on Tuesday I will be doing my first random pay-per-view. I will not be announcing that though. You'll get to see it on Tuesday. So this was the Viper 4567. Please subscribe and comment, and I will talk to you guys soon. So take it easy.